o'clock. It is that time indeed of the show where we are doing money mandatings and we're looking at and talking about the proposed universal basic income grant as an economic stimulus. Now, we're going to discuss that. There's a lot of factors surrounding this that we need to discuss. I mean, I'm talking about things like the economic impact, the income equality, the labor market effects, social welfare, funding mechanisms, long-term viability, political feasibility. There's so many things that surround something like this that we obviously need to go in depth and talk about it. But before we do that, I do want to give you a little background on, this policy initiative that has been proposed. And just so you know what we're talking about, if you just tuned in, a very warm welcome. The name is Quax. I do the damn thing until 12 o'clock. It's a Money Monday on the jump off. I'm broadcasting live from number 16 Smart Road all the way out in Nahoon. So if you're ever around in the area and you want to pop in and say what's up, you're more than welcome to do so. But we are talking about this proposal for the universal basic income grant as an economic stimulus on this Money Monday. And remember, if you want to get involved in the conversation, please do so. We're live on Facebook right now. We're live on YouTube. So get involved. Hoi. Otherwise, you can give me a call or WhatsApp me, voice note me on 066-137-2723. That's 066-137-2723. Send me a WhatsApp message or voice note, whatever floats your boat, really. I'm in it to win it. Otherwise, let's get into it. Let me give you a little background. Right. So the SPI, which is the Social Policy Initiative, has kind of proposed a wide-scale introduction of a decent universal basic income and rolled out over a 3-year period. Now, they are wanting it to start at 798 Rand per month in the first year and then end up at 1,804 Rand per month in the third year. And basically, this is their way to kind of kickstart a new growth path. Now, the idea behind this, because this was actually launched last week, and the idea behind this is they don't want people to view this particular economic stimulus, this grant as a economic stimulus. They want it to be viewed that way. They don't want it to be viewed as a poverty reduction program. Now, they've provided data that kind of shows that a decent UBI benefit of 1,500 Rand paid to everybody per month without conditions could self-fund itself by 98%. Now, let me tell you how they got to this, right? They took kind of a model of the gross cost of implementing the UBI for adults and children and concluded that it would be 862.9 billion over 3 years, and then 557.7 billion for adults and 305.2 billion for children who received a means tested child support grant of, and you already know, 505 Rand per month during the 2023-2024 financial year. Now, this is like the first step that they are proposing to taking to the Vision 2023 of full employment, because we all know that a country like South Africa is struggling with unemployment rates. I mean, the rates are high now, in terms of unemployment. And if this is implemented correctly, it would be a critical step towards a higher gross domestic product. Now, let me tell you the numbers because they get a bit complicated, right? There is about, okay, so the official figure of unemployment persons in South Africa right now has decreased slightly, right, to 7.8 million. But the expanded definition of unemployment puts the number of people without job just below 12 million, while just about 7.2 million people pay income taxes. Can you see the difference here? Now, the objective of the UBI is to achieve full employment with less than 5% unemployment rate by 2035 through this rapid economic growth that they're trying to do. Right. Now, there is no single policy. We need to obviously admit and know this. There is no single policy that would see the country achieve full employment, right? Hence, there's a need for multiple of policies to kind of, come alive and get involved to just address the multiple dimensions of this crisis. But yeah, look, at the moment, as of 2023, an individual living in South Africa with less than 1,058 Rand per month was considered poor, right? So South Africa already has 28 million people that are relying on social grants, with 18 million receiving old age pensions. You got child support grants and a further 10 million benefiting from a monthly 350 social relief and distress grant that the government released in 2020. So you understand the amount that is just being given to people. So we need to obviously discuss this because as much as the SPI is proposing this, it's not a novel idea, even though some may say, it makes South Africa a welfare state when social grants are already, one of the top 3 public expenditure items. It is something to consider. Now, there's a lot of debate. There's like tons of debate about this. And we're going to take a look, discuss, and talk about this. Now, what's interesting, I think, about this, what we should note, just in case you don't know like what I'm talking about, you want like just a clearer definition, right? Now, this proposed universal basic income grant is, as an economic stimulus, is suggesting that they provide regular payments, just like the 350 that people get. They want basically everybody to get like 350 in a sense, but it's not going to be 350. Of course, they are proposing just over 1,000 Rand. Now they want that to be provided on a regular basis as a regular payment to all individuals, regardless of whether you're working, whether you're not, and so regardless of your employment status or income level. And basically the idea behind this is to boost the spending power and support economic activity. Now, this approach aims to address income equality. It wants to address the elevated poverty and stimulate consumption, especially during times of economic turndown or in times of crisis. Personally, I feel like, in the long run, this could work. I just feel like where we are currently, we need to take note of what's happening in our politics, because a lot of that has to do with, money and how money is distributed and how money, and how this works. And I feel like we're going to have a little bit of a tricky situation, if we're going to be honest, with people misappropriating funds. So for me, look, it's going to be tricky. It's something that can work definitely, but it's going to be tricky. I do appreciate the fact that they're wanting to, extend it over a couple of years just to see, what works. Remember, when you're starting something new, you always need to kind of figure out, and make tweaks like, will this work? Does this work? And maybe while doing it, you find better ways of making it work. So it's something definitely that we're going to have to look into and look out for. But one of the things that we're going to discuss is the economic impact. Now, the economic impact is something that I feel that we look at the consumer spending. We're going to look at poverty reduction. We're going to look at the labor market dynamics. We're going to look at economic income inequality. We're going to look at physical impact. We're going to look at inflation. I think overall, the income or economic impact of UBI is very complex, and I think it's a subject that is going to be something of an ongoing debate, with obviously a lot of research, tons of research still needs to be done. I mean, there is different models and implementations of UBI that can lead to varying outcomes. I know like first world countries have are more equipped to or we can kind of research from them because they kind of been doing it for years now. They've kind of tweaked the system and things like that, so we can kind of take a look into that on how they kind of process these kind of grants. But yeah, look, it's a very complex debate. It's a very complex kind of matter, and it's one thing that I think is going to make it essential is for us to carefully consider the design and implementation details, which will eventually lead us to the potential effects that this has. But yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about. If you want to get involved in the conversation, please do so. 066 137 723 is the number to dial. That's 066 137 2723. That is the number to dial. Send me a WhatsApp message, a voice note, whatever floats your boat, really. I'm in it to win it. Let me know what you think about this one. We are in discussions. It is a Money Monday, and we are talking about the proposal for a universal basic income grant as an economic stimulus. Right. I'm also out there on Facebook, chums. So go out there and comment and let me know what you think about that one. It's just gone 34 after 10. You're still locked and tuned in to the Jump Off on Keith Ngesu Radio. It's radio according to you. I'm going to jump into some music. Then when I come back, we're going to discuss this and also just see what your messages are and discuss that. All right. Otherwise, let's get into some music, man. Let's get into some music, man.